5 points and 3 secret annexes. That is what the victory plan of Ukrainian President Zelenskyy looks like.
If we start moving with this idea, with this specific plan of victory right now, we can end the war no later than next year.
The plan includes inviting Ukraine to join NATO and deploying enough non-nuclear military force in its territory to deter Russia. The reaction of Western partners is ambiguous. Ukrainians' attitudes, too.
The plan is real, but it doesn't depend on Ukraine.
I am also absolutely convinced that everything will be decided on the battlefield. Ukraine's best friend is our armed forces.
We will be supported. We hope for the best, but we probably will have to fight for ourselves.
Ukrainian political scientist Mykola Davydyuk is convinced that the plan contains too many unrealistic points for Western partners to implement.
If there were 4 realistic points and 1 wishful thinking type, it could be considered as an exception. But when we want all the exceptions, we get the answer that is detached from reality.
Davydyuk says Ukrainians are the last to see this plan after all of Kyiv's foreign partners. And some points were not explained to them. For instance, an agreement with allies to help protect the country's critical resources, as well as joint investment and use of those resources.
Protection of resources by Western capital, which can participate in production, is great, but it is necessary to explain to people what resources, how many, and what benefits for the country.
Kyiv-Mogila Business School professor Valery Pekar says another question is why this plan doesn't have a list of actions for the Ukrainians themselves.
Many people believe this is only half of the plan because it says what Ukraine expected from its allies. But Ukraine has many problems with the system of public administration, mobilization, the rule of law, and the question is what will be done about it?
Also, military expert Yevgen Dyky adds there is a concern about alternative Ukrainian actions if partners do not implement the victory plan.
So far, it sounds like there's no plan B at all. Either the coalition partners will do what we ask, or we will capitulate, or what? Plan B should be total mobilization, both people and finances, transferring everything to military lines and wage war on our own.
At the same time, Valery Pekar highlights Western allies need to understand what the post-war world will look like.
If Ukraine wins, it will be a safer world where rules work. Otherwise, it will be a world in which every dictator does whatever he wants in his zone of interests.
After nearly 3 years of full-scale invasion, Russian troops are advancing in eastern Ukraine. The country also faces a difficult winter as Russian strikes have destroyed much of the energy system. Lesia Bakalets, VOA News, Kyiv.